Today's big question: did President Zelensky hint that Donald Trump may agree to allow U.S. troops in Ukraine as part of future security guarantees? Let's break down what we know. According to multiple reports, President Volodymyr Zelensky says his latest talks with Donald Trump were productive, centered on a revised peace framework built around a 20-point plan. This plan has evolved from earlier drafts, refined with input from European partners and Trump advisors.
Importantly, we'll also then be working with Russia, okay? Because to work with ourselves doesn't really solve much of a problem. So they'll be working with Russia.
It tackles the biggest unresolved issues of the war: territorial control, ceasefires, and post-war reconstruction. Zelensky says there's about 90% agreement on the overall framework, but he stresses a key point. Territorial decisions should be made by Ukrainians themselves. That includes the future of Donbas, where he's floated ideas like designating parts of the region as a free economic zone, but without Russian control. At the same time, Zelensky is very clear: Ukraine will not recognize Donbas as Russian territory, not legally, not practically. Donald Trump has also sounded optimistic, saying a lot of progress has been made, though tough issues remain, including Donbas and the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. Now to the heart of the story: security guarantees. Zelensky says the U.S. and Ukraine are 100% aligned on a bilateral security framework, describing it as a key milestone toward lasting peace. These guarantees are designed to function like NATO's Article 5, meaning if Ukraine is attacked, its partners would be legally committed to defend it. But, and this is important, Ukraine would not become a NATO member under this model. Zelensky has signaled he may accept that trade-off if the protections are ironclad. Europe, meanwhile, is fully plugged in. France, Germany, the UK, Poland, Italy, Norway, Finland, and EU leaders have all been involved in joint calls, promising ironclad protection from day one. Trump says Europe will carry a significant share of the financial and military burden, including billions in aid and reconstruction. So, where does the U.S. troop question come in? Some analysts say Zelensky's language has hinted that U.S. involvement on the ground could form part of these guarantees, for example, through rotational deployments or monitoring forces. However, so far there is no confirmed commitment from Trump or U.S. officials to station American troops inside Ukraine. Most reporting suggests the guarantees would rely on military aid and training, deterrence commitments, and possibly rapid response pledges, rather than permanent troop basing. For Moscow, such a move would be seen as a major strategic setback and could escalate rhetoric or pressure as the Kremlin frames it as direct NATO encroachment. And negotiations aren't over. Further U.S., EU, Ukraine talks are expected next year to finalize details, including financing, military coordination, and what ironclad protection really means in practice.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.